Hey everybody, Davey here from Davey's World Fishing. Today I'm going to show you how to get rigged up with the rubber band sinker rig for giant bluefin tuna. Stay tuned. Now a couple weeks ago we talked about fishing the yo-yo rig for giant yellowtail. We talked about fishing the Carnata jigs and flat fall style jigs for big tuna. Today we're going to talk about fishing the sinker rig. It's something you've probably heard about this year, 2021. It's getting real popular again. These big bluefin tuna right off our coast here are hitting those erratic style jigs, but the sinker rig has been very popular once again. It kind of, you know, cyclical here. It gains popularity. It'll die off every once in a while. But getting rigged up for this properly is very key. The real cool thing about fishing that inline rubber band sinker rig is that there's no extra knots on your line. So there's no more weak points. You're basically gonna take your regular leader, you're gonna attach that right to it so your line stays nice and straight and there's no fray points on your line. The less knots you can make on your line, the better. And any kind of like, even on the dropper loop, it does create some weak points on occasion if you don't tie it, you know, completely correctly. So this inline weight, it's very effective, but you're gonna go through some weights. Generally speaking, 99% of the time when you get bit on a big fish on the sinker rig, you're gonna lose your sinker. So there's a few dollars that you're gonna invest into it. Heck, if you're fishing flying fish right now, you're at what, $40 or $50 a flyer. You know, a couple of bucks for your lead weight, not that expensive. Let's take a look at it. It's pretty easy to rig. Let's do it. Now, getting set up for the sinker rig, you only need a few components. You need your rod and reel. I happen to have a Makaira 30 here. So basically I'm fishing the same gear I'm fishing for that big erratic style, your nighttime bite, you know, your big fish. I've got the Mac 30 here. I've got it spooled up with 80-pound eminent soft steel braid, and I've got that attached to a 100-pound Fluoro-Stretch Fluorocarbon leader. I've got a leader here is about, I'd say 6 feet long. I've got a nice 5/0 hook on the back there, fishing big sardine and big mackerel. So what I'm gonna do is from my hook, I'm gonna go up probably about, I'd say 3 feet, 36 inches, and that's where I'm gonna start the attachment. All you need is your weight and a rubber band. Always have a variety of rubber bands, variety of rubber band sizes in your tackle box. You never know when you're gonna need them. I also use balloons. We can go into a balloon rig another day as well. But grab yourself your rubber band, your lead weight, and your leader. Let's do it. All right, so for the actual rigging, I'm gonna zoom in a little tighter here just so you get a better feel of what I'm doing. So as I mentioned, I've got about 3 feet of leader right there on that stretch fluorocarbon. I'm gonna take my rubber band and I'm just gonna loop it through and pull it tight. All that's gonna be is the first secure point of that rubber band on your line. Nice and tight. It'll slide around, but that's not the point at this point in the setup yet. So from there, you're gonna take your sinker. This happens to be a 12 ounce, but bring yourself a variety of say 4 ounce through 12, even 16 ounces if you've got them. That'll get you going on a good start. You're gonna take your rubber band, you're gonna put it through the eye of your torpedo sinker and just slide it right up to the edge of the line there. Now what I like to do, and some people do this, some people don't, is I'll take that rubber band and I'll actually wrap it a couple of times around my sinker. So once it's around there, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna take that other end and slide it back on through. A lot of times, like I said before, hardest part of the whole deal is getting it right back through that end. Once you've got it through, you got a little bit of a loop at the end there. Now I'm gonna take my hook and I'm gonna go right through that rubber band. If you can see that there, that's going right through the rubber band. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that all the way on through there. And now it's secure to the line. That extra little wrap of the rubber band there, that just gives it a little bit more friction on the line so it's not sliding up and down. It's actually really secure right there. But as you can see, that line is nearly straight. It comes up, just touches the rubber band, goes over the edge of the lead and right out the other side. Now that's nearly a completely inline weight. You've got that, and I've got that all the way down to the end of my hook there. Now when you're fishing that sinker rig, what you're gonna do is you're gonna drop this guy back. You're not casting it, you're just gonna drop it straight back and that lead's gonna fall down. So when you're rigging your bait on this weight, what you're gonna do, and I've got an old rubber bait here, is you wanna nose hook your baits. So you're gonna take your sardine or mackerel, it's kicking in your hand here, take your large hook, you're gonna go right through the little cartilage of the nose. There's a little bit of cartilage right on each of those sardines and mackerels that you're just going to go right across there. You don't want to go deep in the head because then you're actually going to spear it in the brain, which you don't want to kill it. You want to keep that thing alive. So right across that nose, It looks just like that. You're gonna drop the inline bait back, and then when this weight is falling down, that bait is gonna continue down with it forward. It'll be kicking on its way down, it'll be swimming kind of side to side, up and down, but it's still swimming. That's the key there. If you butt hook your bait, your hook's gonna be down here, you're pulling your bait backwards. That's not realistic. You don't wanna do that. Fish don't do that. The other thing you're gonna do there is you're gonna cause your bait to die. You're gonna drown it. The water is gonna go in through the gills backwards. Not what you wanna do. You don't wanna butt hook it. You don't wanna top hook it, side hook it, or anything else, because then it's just gonna spiral its way down. So just on that sinker rig, just like that, hook it right through the nose. Very simple procedure. You know, slow this down, go back, take a look at it again. Very simple. That's your inline weight. It's going to slide, and as I mentioned, you're going to lose it because once you hit that tuna, that thing's going to be wiggling back and forth, wiggling back and forth. It's going to be fouling, it's going to be fighting and everything else, and it's just going to wear right through the rubber bands. Your weight's going to drop off and it's gone. But up until then, you have a completely knotless, secure weight to your line that's very effective in getting that bait down where it needs to be. Your captain's going to tell you how far to go. Your captain's going to say drop down 200 feet. I see him at 100 feet. I see him at 250, 30 fathoms, you know, whatever he's going to tell you to do. You want to be able to get it down to that weight. And of course, the amount of weight you use, like I said, this is 12 ounce. It's going to depend on how fast the boat's drifting or coming to a stop, how much current there is. If the boat's drifting real fast, you know, if you want to get that stuff down there fast, you're going to go a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter if you need to as well. But that's that inline weight. As I mentioned, super effective. I know I've said it a bunch of times, but working that sinker rig, it's straight up and down that line. It's not gonna fray your line. It's not gonna have any weak knots. Sinker rig, right down to your nose hooked bait. That's the key. I do appreciate y'all checking in. I hope this tip helps you and gets you in a few more of those big bluefin. Go with the beefy hook, go with the big weight, go with the big bait. Appreciate y'all checking in. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below and subscribe to Davy's World Fishing up in that right-hand corner. We'll see you on the water.